Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Phoenix Creations. Today I'm going to be showing you how to colour in an eye. A little bit of an odd one. It was actually a request from somebody and I hope you guys enjoy it. So here I go. Okay, so I think for me, this is probably different for everyone, but for me I like to begin with the light colours. I like to kind of know almost how light I'm going to be, but it's not really just that, it's more sort of where I'm going to put the light colours. So I'm going to go ahead and start laying in my lightest colour. And just to let you know, this is going to be sort of gradient from purple, really dark, sort of a purple, to pink, and it's kind of going to be quite a nice little gradient effect going on. So I'm just putting down this light pink, and as you can see I've kept it sort of here-ish because kind of this is where I want most of the light in the eye, the actual lightest part of the eye to be. This is where I really want it to sit. And then on the outside I'm going to just go in a little bit thicker with this colour. Not too much, but just a little bit. Because I know that the outside is where I'm going to put my darkest colours. So I'm really not bothered, basically, with how much I put down. And so yeah, can actually afford to be a little bit ruthless with the colour at that point. And then next, oh, and that was actually a RV000, so you can see that. And this is an R11, pale cherry pink, I like the name of it. And then I'm going to go ahead and start lining up the outside of it, because remember I said I want sort of the outside of the eye to be darkest, or darker at least. Don't worry if you kind of go into the areas where there's supposed to be light. You can always go over that with a white gel pen or even some white paint. It really depends on how you kind of want to do it. But yeah, so here's this pink now, and if you can probably see from there, you can kind of start to see the effect of, you know, the light in the eye, the lightest part of the eye, and where the sort of light will sit in all these different areas. Let me just blend that out a little bit. Oh, and oh yes guys, in case you don't know, these are Copics Chow markers, and the great thing about them is that you can just blend them straight out if there's ever a little bit of something that you need to cover up, or you think, oh no, I made a mistake there, whatever it is, you can always just blend them straight out. And the next colour I'm using is called Tender Pink, it's RV13. And then I'm going to just kind of start from here. I kind of want it to be not too strong, but I do definitely want that strong sort of gradient from pink to purple. And what I mean by not too strong and then saying strong gradient is that I don't want the pink to be like necessarily overly overwhelming. Overly overwhelming. Oh wow, my English is great today, guys. What a time to film. But yeah, you know, I don't want it to kind of completely overshadow everything. So it's definitely going to have that effect, but you know, just to make sure that the purple also has its little part to play, you know, we're going to make sure that there's a strong tone of purple in there too, which is now what I'm going to do and add. Okay, so this is the lavender and it's VO6. And I'm going to just pop it straight into the pupil of the eye. This is the pupil area of the eye. I'm going to do things a little bit differently with how I'm colouring this, especially to begin with, and then I'll probably go into kind of the more sort of generic way that they are coloured. Now one thing you'll notice I'm doing is I'm kind of dotting quite a lot with my actual pen. I was about to call it brush, because that's how it feels, and that's the kind of great thing about Copics, is that they do feel very brush-like. So, you know, they're quite forgiving in terms of how you use them. Look at how that's sort of almost blended in, and then if I go in with this again, watch how this will just straight away just begin to blend in again. That's the amazing thing about using Copics. They are so forgiving in that it doesn't really matter how much you put down, you can always lift it. If not with colours, the colour itself, so like with this dark purple, or you know, kind of with that pink there, you can actually go in with the, what is it called? These little thingies. The colourless blender. Oh my gosh, how did I forget? You can tell I haven't done a video in a while, right? But yeah, so that's it then. I've basically got that darkest colour in there, and now what I want to start doing is start bringing it further down, and I'm going to begin from the edges. So we've got this little edge here, and then here too. And you've got to be really careful with sort of how you sort of transition from dark to light colouring, because as you can see, I already put that dark pink down, but now as I'm going to do the purple, it's going to basically cover it, and then I'm going to have to layer the pink again. So just bear with me while I do that for a second. You'll understand what the sort of effect is that's going on here, but yes, it's really important to be super careful with how you're doing this. I mean, like I said, they're fairly forgiving, but yeah, it's just a point to note that even when you are sort of using Copics, and as wonderful as they are in terms of blending and everything, it's always just a good idea to keep in mind exactly how much you're willing to, how much space you want to give your actual colours, because at the end of the day they're going to need quite a lot of space in terms of how they sit on the actual eye, or you know, whatever you're colouring in really. It could even be hair, it could be skin, but yeah, always think about the space around it. And then over the top of that, I'm bringing back the second lightest colour, which was the pale cherry pink. Oh yes, that really pretty name. And then I'm going to just start blending this pink in again too. It's a really amazing effect when you sort of start to see how it begins to transition. And from here, what I'm going to do is flick it in. Let's go over this bit again with this pale cherry pink colour, and again flick it in. And I think I'm lacking a bit of pink on this side, so I want to just bring in some more pink tones, and even bring in a few more flecks of pink down here, just to really start to get these colours blending. You can even do it from up here. I don't want to go too crazy, but I think it is nice to actually get that effect of it blending together, because, you know, at the end of the day, these colours, we want them to kind of look like they're merging and, you know, really kind of meshing together. And then I want to put in a little bit more of that lavender over here, just to get it as dark as I can possibly get it in the corners where I have used it. And again with the pink. It is a process, but guys, it's super fun. I mean, it's just so much fun to use Copics because of how, you know, almost free you can be with them. You can be just so free with them. You don't have to kind of, I don't know, it's just effortless in a way. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. They're super effortless and super fun to use. And yeah, you've really got to get into using them. So as you can see, guys, I've kind of got this real light rim here, and then obviously the light source there and the light source there, and it's kind of hitting the eye, the reflection of the light. And I've got the dark purple tone kind of fading into the pink, and then going real light in the middle, and then fading out again into that purple tone. And I feel like I want to just build this up a little bit, so I'm going to do that and probably switch off the volume for now and speed this up a little bit. Okay, now guys comes the bit for the pupil. People do this in a variety of different ways, but for me, because this is sort of, you know, a beginner's guide to kind of how to colour eyes, I think we could even go with a few different varieties. So I'm gonna do a few different versions for you, and you guys can always obviously choose and go with the one that you like most. So the first, to kind of start off and to just correct that little bit of ink that's flown into that reflection of light there, I'm going to just go over this circle once more, twice more even, and just that little bit there. And then basically this pupil, we can go all the way. We can make this as black as we want it and really go in with it. But I want to show you a few different sort of varieties. So the first one is the crescent, which is basically what I've done here, but just thicker. There we go. And you can actually leave it at that. And you can even darken up this little bit here, and so bring it down so that it kind of matches with the purple, so it kind of blends in a little bit. Let me show you what I mean here a little bit. As you can see, it's gone super dark now in the middle, almost to the point where, let me just check on my camera, but yeah, you see how that really blends in to the point where you almost can't tell where the black hits the purple. That's the kind of effect that I really love, and this is basically my idea of a perfect little eye. But the other way to do it, and I'm going to show you right now, is to round off the pupil. And I think a lot of people like to use this method in particular, but I think if you're doing this, it's really important then to think about the other little areas. So stuff like this, I mean, we kind of want it to be as rounded everywhere else as we have it in the middle. So like this little corner here, I just rounded that off. Then this little corner here, I rounded that off. And then this on the very edge over here, I want to just round that off. And the reason why is it just kind of, it curves everything in together to match this big round pupil in the middle, and actually kind of pulls the colours in together a lot better. Look at me with ink on my hand. Right, I'm going to add the purple and blend it in. And again here. Right, and I'm going to just go over this with the black to thicken up the lines a little bit. Give this some extra depth. Let's really make this eye pop. fairly difficult with quite a thick fat pen, but you know, I mean, if you guys keep a steady hand, it should be fine. I'm going to add one more mini flick up here. And just to kind of give it a little bit more sparkle, I'm going to just add in some more light spots with my gel pen. And also in the middle, I've got a purple fine liner, so I just want to kind of go in with some flicks of that. And last but not least, a few flicks of my pink, which was the tender pink. And there we have it. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!